Welcome back to another episode of Ancient Egyptian Language Revival. This episode is an introduction to ancient Egyptian literature. When you study Egyptology at the university, very often one of the first stories you read is the story of the shipwrecked sailor. This story is handed down only on one single papyrus in Middle Egyptian language in hieratic writing. In this story, an Egyptian ship is returning back from a Nile expedition and is about to go ashore. Then a diligent follower, a Shamsu-Iker, tells his boss on the ship, the Hati'a, about another expedition at the sea in which he was part of. So most part of the plot is a story within a story. He tells him that he was with a troop at the sea to a trip to a mine when suddenly a storm arose and the ship got into distress and finally sank, with him being the only survivor of the whole troop. The word for sea is in the Middle Egyptian language wajwer. This information will be important in the next episode. The Shamsu-Iker was brought by the waves onto an island and spent 3 days in a shelter until he looked for something to eat. He found a lot of food on the island, fruits and vegetables, fish and birds. The Shamsu-Iker made a fire and sat in front of it. Suddenly he heard thunder and the ground started to shake. A giant snake with a gilded body came towards him. The snake asked him who had brought him to this island, but the Shamsu-Iker didn't answer. After that, the snake took him into its mouth and brought him into his dwelling place and asked the Shamsu-Iker again who had brought him onto this island. Then he told the snake how his ship had sunk and he had been drifted to the island. The snake answers the Shamsu-Iker not to be afraid and predicted that after 4 months, a ship with the sailors he knows would come and take him home. Furthermore, the snake told him that it had not always been alone on the island, but that a total of 75 snakes had lived here and that it had a youngest daughter, whom it called Ketet, the little one. If you want to know what happened to the other snakes and what will happen to the Shamsu-Iker, you can do so in the book Middle Egyptian Literature by James P. Allen. This book is a very good introduction to Middle Egyptian literature. Here you find not only the story of the shipwrecked sailor, but also other Middle Egyptian stories. In this etymology part, I want to discuss some words that appear in the papyrus of the shipwrecked sailor and are still used today in the Egyptian Arabic language. When the expedition ship reaches the port at the beginning of the story, the Shamsu-Iker said to the Hati'a, Ma'a tahanan khanu, which means, look, we have reached home. This Middle Egyptian sentence consists of 3 words and all 3 words are still used in Egyptian Arabic today. Ma'a means see or look.
الشمع اللي انت حطاه ده ولعي النور هو جوع وعينينا تتمقق.
Tahanan means we have reached or we have finished.
100 مليون جنيه؟ ما شاء الله انتوا اغنياء قوي كده؟
كنا اغنياء قوي كده. انما دلوقتي اللي حصل فانا مضطر ابيع حاجات كتير قوي منها الفيلا اللي احنا عايشين فيها ديت. احنا هنضطر نعيش في شقه الزمالك لطيفه وبتطل على
مستر عبد الله.
ايوه
شقة الزمالك بح.
اوكي.
Khanu means, as we have discussed in detail in episode 4, the inside, the interior, or like in this context, the home. In the story, the snake mentions its youngest daughter, whom it calls Ketet. From this word you can derive the word katkut, which is a nickname or a pet name commonly used for babies and children today in Egypt. Also baby chicks are called katkut or in the plural katakit.
استني يا مدام هدية علشانك حلق يا روح النن وريني كده كتكوتي كتكته بطني يغدي يا اخواتي كل شأن صغير حلو يعيش يوسف به يعيش
Also the word nonna or nunu, which occurred in the last film clip, can be derived etymologically from the ancient Egyptian language and means baby, child, or something small or young.
هو اللي عنده عيال يعرف الراحة
معلش بس لازم ترتاحي في السرير برضه.
The word صغنن is a mixture of the Arabic word صغير, which means small, with the Egyptian word nan, which means baby or infant.
هي الأمورة الصغننة في
الأمورة في النادي. عندها تدريب، متفوقة رياضيا جدا.
Now you will see a so-called sibua, which is a traditional Egyptian baby party you make for a newborn child. The traditions are commented in the clip.